Hey, you're one of 12 listeners of the Real Life Podcast, brought to you by Righand Distilleries.
January 2019. We're going to get to the Oilers being in free fall in a minute here. Thankfully, the three musketeer, the third man is back. The three amigos, which one are you? Martin Short can be bag milk.
I'll take that.
I'll be Chevy Chase because I'm a bit of a dick. You want to be Chevy Chase?
No,
you don't have a good second
I'll
act
be
your
Martin
career.
Short. He's Canadian.
Well, you could either have an awesome career from start to finish like Martin Short, or you could be Chevy Chase and be doing articles about how Hollywood fucked you over 20 years into your career. What do you want?
Yeah, no, I'll take Martin Short.
Oh, damn it. I'm
You know,
Chevy
I'll take
Chase.
Chevy Chase then.
Really?
Yeah. He hasn't worked in decades.
Decades.
That's
Well,
my dream.
He was in Community, yeah,
but he's
yeah.
a dick and hates everybody, and everyone hates him.
Yeah, that
he's
fits.
delicate. But
I'll take that.
I'll never forget his performances in both Fletch
Yeah.
and Caddyshack.
And Vacation.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Of course.
How can you forget that?
Original Vacation was one of 3 VHS tapes we had as young Wanye, and you probably believe Bag Milk or two. Young for this.
Young Wanye's a wee.
Young, yeah. And all I ever got to watch was Adventures in Babysitting and Vacation.
I had Vegas
Vacation
Vacation on VHS.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I just watched Vegas Vacation. It was on TBS like a few weeks ago. I watched it again.
Yeah,
It always creeped me out how they change the kids every movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's been several
Yeah, there's
Rusties.
12 different Rusties. Like remember when they wrote Judy out of Family Matters, the youngest daughter?
Did they really?
Oh, yeah. The porn star?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't know then. I mean, maybe they had some inkling, I suppose. But like it creeped me out because I just remember as a kid, Judy stopped coming to breakfast in the show and no one said anything.
What about Aunt Vivian and Fresh Prince?
Yeah, I was
All
gonna
of a
say
sudden,
Aunt Viv
completely
flipped
different
it.
person.
Yeah.
Don't even address it. Just
Yeah.
like throw it on us. And like, I just accepted it, but I still had questions.
The Squire's back. He's been in Australia visiting Noopsy, setting up further Australian operations to the Nation Network by sampling all the beers and watching the local sport. Then he was in Hawaii. Now he's here. Welcome home. How was your trip?
My trip was very good.
How's Noopsy doing?
Nupsy's doing great. He's bought a new house. It's a awesome house. Great. Oh, his outdoor, like his deck. He's got an outdoor living room. Like all the shit I love. Like he's got a good zone there. And
Dog?
got a new dog, Bodie. He's a beauty, Labradoodle.
Of course.
And yeah, he's got a farm of spiders in his front lawn that we've watched get. They must have been young because they've been growing bigger. So every day you go and check out, and its butt's getting bigger. The little butt bulb was growing and growing and growing. But these things were getting huge. We don't know. Noops didn't know what type of spider it was, but it was always, you're scared to like walk into its web. But yeah, no, they're doing great. We had a ton of fun. We went to a cricket match.
Nice, I saw that.
A shortened version. It's called T20, where there's only 20 overs. We don't need to get into the details of cricket because there's lots, but now I understand.
You've come home with you're fully functional
Oh my
knowledge.
God.
of cricket?
I was in on watching a 5-day test match, Australia versus India. Starting on Boxing Day, we sat in front of the TV all day, drank, and which is tradition for Australia to do.
Basically every day of the
Every
calendar
day,
year.
yeah. And yeah, I was into it. You kind of come in and out of it. You can fall asleep, you wake up, open a new beer, watch the cricket. Like
It's kind of like watching golf.
It's you know what? You have to have more patience in golf
Oh.
because golf they at least hit the ball a bunch of times in a round. Where like these guys just like. There's guys that'll stay at bat. They can stay at bat for days. So it gets dry and they're like defending. They're not like, there's no foul balls in cricket. Like a foul ball, you're still alive. Like you can't foul out. I guess in baseball, you can't foul out. But yeah, anyways, long game. But I drank the Kool-Aid and I get it now. I know the scoring. When someone says 5 over 20, 5 over 100, I get it all.
You were yelling sixes when they were knocking her out.
At the T20 match, we went to the T20 match, which is just a shortened version. It's a 3-hour game. They just like it's designed so that everyone just hits taters.
Oh, yeah?
Which are sixes.
That's fun.
So then they hit it out on the full. If someone catches it, they deem like it's like the 4 and 20 pie, magic moment.
Did you have some 4 and 20s?
Oh, of course.
got it.
Meat pies in Australia. Delicious. So if you catch it one-handed, if someone hits a 6 during that time, you win like $200.
Oh, it's like Big Mac scoring.
Yeah, but you have to catch it one-handed.
Nice.
That's the thing because it happens so much. But anyways, yeah, we had a blast. We went and saw.
What were you drinking beer-wise?
I was on the Han Super Dries a lot.
Interesting.
Australia, without even knowing it, they make a lot of low-carb beers. That was just kind of the way they made beer.
Yeah.
So just keeping it super tight,
Got it.
super dries.
Yeah.
And also my favorite beer. I think this might be my favorite beer in the entire universe.
Over BL?
So BL is a beer you drink 1,000 of when it's like you got a long day of drinking ahead of you.
Yeah.
This one is just like, I just love the flavor. It's in Bagmel, I don't know if you've heard of them. James Squire is the brewery.
I see what's going on. We have a glass of that at the house.
Yeah. So yeah, the 150 lashes of James Squire is my favorite beer right now by a country mile.
Bag milk?
I don't know if I had that one. I was a Carlton draft kind of guy.
Were you in Brizzy?
Yeah, I did the whole coast.
Okay, yeah. Carlton's big. Yeah, Carlton's a big beer there. But
I did a lot of VBs too. Stubby's a VB.
I think you just got to do that because you're in Australia.
Have
Like
to.
I drank some just on principle, but everyone says it's piss, but you still do it because
They say piss because it's also good. They love piss.
Well, they call everything piss. So
did you go to Toowoomba and play the horseshoe dart string
so
at the hotel?
that was the plan was to go do that. We got so caught up in the Boxing Day cricket match that we
Right.
just stayed at Ray and Biz's, which is Noops's family-in-law or whatever, mother and father-in-law, and we didn't make it to that bar. But because we were just having so much fun in the backyard, crushing super dries and 150 lashes and watching cricket.
Of course. When we went to Toowoomba Bag Milk, which is like the moose jaw of Australia in our mind, we were blown away by everything. And we went to their like OG country saloon. And they had this game where there was a horseshoe and a nail, and the horseshoe was attached to the roof by a string. And you just like threw the horseshoe. And if you get to land on the nail, it was like considered a bullseye.
Magic.
We probably played that for 4 hours. Like it was the most exciting thing we'd ever seen in our entire lives. It's such a good game.
It's the simple things in life.
It
It's
is.
a low cost to entry game right there.
Well, back in the day, just a bunch of guys sitting around like, what can we do to have fun then?
So we stayed. So we went to Byron Bay, which is like the polar opposite, but of Banff. So it's like a coastal sun beach version, but it's their Banff.
Yeah.
So everyone migrates to this place, and we stayed in the hinterlands, which is like the hills away from the beach. And Chris Hemsworth lives somewhere in there. So him and Matt Damon have decided that Byron Bay is their place, and they live in the countryside in the hinterlands.
Chris Hemsworth, I've read about this house he built. It looks like the Royal Alberta Museum, and it's ruined the neighborhood that he's in, and everyone's super pissed at him that he like blew all his Thor money on ruining his neighborhood in Byron Bay.
Oh well,
But Matt Damon lives there too?
yeah. So he's moved. It's actually beautiful. Like
Byron Bay's dope.
Yeah, Byron Bay is legit. We had a blast there.
Did you go to Nimbin? Did you do that tour?
No, what's that?
Nimbin is like this legal dead zone in Australia where weed is quote unquote not legal, but totally legal.
Christiania.
Yeah. So you just you jump on this bus, and it's like an old hippie bus that's covered in flowers and shit. And you go do a tour of this little town. That's where I got Byron Bay is where I got super blacked out. Wandered into a tattoo shop with 2 random Canadians I met that day, and we all ended up with Southern Cross tattoos.
Oh.
I don't even know those 2 dudes' names.
Southern and Cross.
Yeah. I just remember they were from Victoria. That's
What if
all
I
know.
told you it was Matt Damon and Chris Hemsworth that you got
What
those
a day.
tattoos with?
Wow, I got a tattoo with Thor.
I'm going to ruin my neighborhood, I will.
So we rented this cool Airbnb owned by this Swedish guy named Carl, and he branded it. It was called The Patch, and it gets on this lot in the hinterlands with views of not the ocean, but like the hills of the hinterland. And like he built like this climbing tree and a mudslide, and there's hammocks and there's a tree fort. He created an experience. Anyways, this Scandinavian guy has this Scandinavian game that's sitting on the porch, and it's just all made of wood. These wood little logs, and it's called Finska. And essentially, it's bowling meets bocce. So you get all these, and I bought it because we got so fucking hooked on this game. And it's these wood pegs, and they've got numbers 1 to 12, and those are the points. And then you've got this like bigger log that you throw at these little tiny logs that are numbered.
It's a board game though?
No. It's like I said, it's bowling meets bocce
On the grass.
On the grass.
I gotcha, yeah.
So we got so hooked on this game, and I went and looked. I'm like, so how come I've never heard of Finska? Because I thought it was just like big in like northern Finland or something. And it's actually huge in Australia. And Australia is like the only place. It's a company in Australia called Finska now that like sells the game.
Bizarre.
So I've brought it back. I'm a self-proclaimed missionary of Finska.
Yeah. He's doing Finska missionary style.
So I'm gonna try to make it a thing, and I'm actually gonna try to see if we can carry a little brick, because it is a game that fits in. We can play right on the lawn out there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is why you travel. You got to bring a little bit home with you.
It is. Oh yeah, I brought it like it was.
That's cool. We should do it here.
Oh yeah, totally. It makes it's yeah. Like I am on a mission to make Finska huge in Edmonton.
I also like the idea of having something else that the nation staff can get really competitive with each other over.
We can settle disputes over a match of Finska.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's how they do it in northern Finland.
Well,
Hasn't
of
been
course.
a war in northern Finland in years.
Exactly. Very safe.
Out to the
Years.
Finska fields.
Well, I don't want to be that guy, Jay, but while you were gone, we kind of needed your perennial good luck and positive attitude because we went to a place I like to call Shitwoomba, which is the sister city of Toowoomba, but here in oil country. It has culminated with Connor taking the skills competition off because he's sick of losing. And according to Bag Milk, Hitch had a press conference where he said, turns out we don't have the personnel that we need to be a good hockey team, which is a bit of a problem.
More or less after the Arizona loss on Saturday, Hitchcock's post-game press conference was essentially, and to paraphrase, unless we get new guys, you're going to get the same result. So more or less, you have 3 players playing. Clefbaum would be number 4, but he is out with broken fingers. Jay, I don't know if you were still here when Clefbaum got hurt.
Yeah.
Trying to crowbar in as many blaming Jay things as I possibly can. They ended the year on a 6-game losing streak. Hitchcock unhappy. The thing I find interesting is that he is just like, he came out of retirement for this gig, 3rd winningest coach in NHL history. He does not give a fuck. Like he just comes out and says what we've all been thinking.
Yeah.
We need it. We need someone on that side of the fence to start
agree.
saying what we think. I got on the plane on December 14th. Oilers are, and like just 2 days before, they had just beaten Colorado on the road. And that was magical. And then I get on the plane. They're playing Philly, and they win that game. And like
Cruising.
What are they? Like 5 or 6 games above 500, and then just every day. Like I'm on a vacation, supposed to have a fun time, and we're either trying to stream the game where we can. And if we can't, I'm following the app, and this is crushing. Every other day when the Oilers played, for about 2 hours, I'd just be livid. So I would check and see what happens, and then read the follow-up blowout of all the bullshit that happened on the ice. And I am blown away with what's happening. I don't even, with all this stupid bullshit trades, I don't even recognize our team anymore. Like, who the fuck's on the Oilers now? Like, who are the Oilers?
Wow, but they're swapping out duds for duds, right? Like, would you rather have Brandon Manning or Kevin Gravel? I'll take neither for
But
5,000.
I'd rather have Drake Kajula than Brendan Manning.
Yes. I would agree with
And
that.
that's the issue. I understand the Petrovic thing. Like, that was a bag of beans for a bag of beans. Like, that's fine. Hopefully that they, have greener pastures on the other side there will pay dividends, and that's a worthy gamble. But like an actual guy who's contributing to our secondary scoring, which we have very little of, being traded for a guy who is barely playing or is hated in the team, was deemed untradeable by his team. But we give him like we give him a roster player,
and we're also down on we're up on our overall cap hit.
Yes. Yeah, they added
hilarious.
cap.
They added
Decreased
cap.
goal scoring.
Decreased goal scoring, added cap. Well, we have to take a break in a sec, but I'm going to hit you with some positivity lines here of the good stuff Oilers related that happened while you were gone. Then we'll come back and we'll get back into it with the Oil. Number 1, I got a new post-game tradition. I go to the lobby bar at Crash, right? Hotel. I got a gal there. She's my gal. And I drink Jacks.
Oh.
So win or lose, I'm drinking my Jacks. And I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to be drinking a lot of Jack in the next little bit here. So that's like my post game to try and rid myself of the stank of loss. I'm going to Crash and having a Jack. Number 2, I bought the Connor McDavid All-Star jersey.
I saw that.
I first saw it. Do you see it on Insta when they first released them?
Yeah, I thought they took all the jerseys and just put a black and white filter.
That's what I thought too. And I'm like, these are the dumbest jerseys I've ever seen. Then I go to the game and I start seeing people wearing them, and the white sharp. So a guy walks by in a white, but I'm thinking about like remember the Team North America with like the pink letter? I'm like, oh, whatever, it's gross. Then the guy walks by in the black Connor McDavid Captain's Oilers jersey. And it's probably the only black and white Oilers jersey you'll ever see made.
Yeah.
And the oil drop is black, and everything's black and white. And it's got a fighting strap on it. So I go to the lady at the apparel Oilers store or whatever. I'm like, can I see them new Connor All-Star jerseys? And she brings one out and like shows it to me. She's like, but they're never going to make these again. I'm like, okay. She's like, there's only one large left. And so we went and put it on the top thing behind all the other Oilers jerseys. And I just went and sat in the stands and kept thinking about the jersey. I could hear it calling to me. Yeah. And then I said to Zippo later, well, they're all going to tie this up. The prior game, Connor scored with 8 seconds left. I called it, and I went pee at 3 minutes minutes left in the third
Yeah.
and told everyone in the row, I'm leaving because we're going to come back and tie this game up. So I was a little bit of a celebrity in section 203. Said, I'm going to buy this jersey after the game because Connor's going to tie it up. Didn't tie it up, still bought the jersey, and then put it on and felt like I was immortal. That's probably the highlight Oilers related for me of the last month, was buying a jersey. Bag milk? Thoughts?
I'd go ahead and say my highlight of the last little bit since you've been away was when I was at the Canucks game for the Towel Boys' 40th birthday. We got so drunk that I don't really remember the third period.
Yes.
So
That's
that was
fun.
Probably the highlight of that.
That was also
that
good.
night.
I went to Ford Hall, had a couple post games, was going to Crash Hotel to do my post game thing, ran into all these guys at the bottom of the stairs, like just drunk people timing worked out. And then we went to the Pint. I ordered a tray of post game jacks, as I'm known to do, and nobody wanted anything to do with them but me. So I had to I'm like, I'll sip them. It won't count.
Oh, yeah.
It counted. Happy birthday, Tell Boy.
See, the shitty thing for me is all the games were during lunch.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to be drunk and forget about anything. I was sober and living everything in reality and having it all sink in real time. And
if you can't get day drunk in Australia on your Christmas break, when can you get
we're
drunk?
trying. We had at T-Fence in Nupsy, and it's the super dries, man. The Hans super dries. They are the Bud Light of Australia.
Well, let's get to that. Jared's got his finger in the air like he just don't care. We'll come back after this real life podcast and get into it.
Have you got holes to dig, earth to pack, and roads to build? Then you need to call Japa Machinery Group. Does your equipment need a service? You can't fix stupid, but here at Japa Machinery Group, we can fix everything else. With a full range of parts to keep your equipment running smoothly. Japa Machinery Group is a family-operated and Alberta-grown business. Here to help build a bigger and better Western Canada. Give us a call or visit us at japamachinery.com. Japa Machinery Group. Join the family.
Is that like going back to Australia here in Josh's voice for you, Jay?
I felt I was still there.
Yeah, he's still there. Drinking VBs. So you're there at T-Fence. All the Oilers games are hitting you in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And you're rattled.
Every lunchtime, between 12 and 2, I'm getting pissed off because I'm either watching the game live or I'm watching it on my app, and you're like, what the fuck? They were 6 or whatever games above 500. They lose one. Okay, well, they have to win the next one, and they lose the next one, and they lose the next one. And then what's compounding with it while you're watching while you're away is they're making these fucking retarded trades to try to fix the problem. And they're just they're putting a Band-Aid on a Band-Aid on a Band-Aid on a Band-Aid, and the Band-Aid's covering a problem that doesn't need to be fixed. There's a completely different problem they need to fix, and they're fixing the wrong problem.
Let's just look here for posterity. You left on the 14th.
Yeah, life
The
is
Oil
good.
had just beat the Flyers 4-1.
Yep.
They then lost to Vancouver, lost to St. Louis, lost to Tampa Bay, lost to Vancouver, lost to San Jose, lost to Winnipeg.
But then they won against Arizona.
Huzzah! Lost to the Kings, defeated the Ducks in a game that I thought, okay, you know what? We've hit rock bottom, defeat the Ducks 4-0. Take that, Pontus Aberg, you fake piece of shit. The next night they go, or 2 nights later, they go out and get absolutely, this is for me, has been the most demoralizing loss of the season. The Sharks just destroyed the Oilers 7-2.
Twice,
to
and they
watch.
went 7-3 the first time at home and then 7-2 on the road.
7-4, yeah, the first one.
But the 7-2 one, to me, the score might as well have been 400 to
brutal.
nothing.
Ugh.
Then we made the Florida Panthers look like the 1919 Montreal Maroons. We won the cup that year, Bag Milk. Don't
Very
look
nice.
that up. And then we lose to the Coyotes.
Yeah.
It's not going well. The hitch effect,
It's worn
9-2, has worn off. Connor, poor guy, his post-game press conferences are getting very sad to watch.
So when you're away, you have a time to kind of reflect it because you're not in the mix as much. I was getting pissed off and losing games. And as an outsider looking in, because I was temporarily an outsider, I'm just like, how much longer is this guy going to put up with this shit? Because he is fucking going out and trying his fucking ass off.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get 9 points in a game, we don't win.
There's 2 things that need to happen. Connor has to get 9 points, or goalies have to stand on their head. If either of those 2 things don't happen, it's loss night.
Oh. And here's the thing. I fucking drank the Kool-Aid so hard.
We all did, man.
But I still am.
We're Oilersnation, people. If we don't drink the Kool-Aid, we're fucked.
I looked at our roster today. I'm like, and I saw the adjustments. I'm looking at our 4th line because I think what I can't remember. Kara and Cassian and fucking
Mixed bag. Just throw
someone.
some
I'm
parts
like,
out there.
that's a good fourth line. I'm like, this isn't bad. And at some point, I have to fucking realize this is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
small
right
silver
now,
lining. Small silver lining. Sorry to interrupt your bag milk. Caleb Jones is legit.
yep.
I'm so happy.
Legit,
I'm so
legit,
happy to
legit.
hear that.
Yes.
So happy.
And you could make a real argument that like the timing of bringing in Manning and those guys was changed around a little bit by the fact that Jones showed up and like 8 games later, he's been legit.
Who drafted Caleb Jones? Was it
The
Shirelli?
Oil. Yeah.
Was it because he's been in the system for a while?
Yeah. I think he's 21.
Give me a little moment here. 2000. That was the Connor draft. So he was the 4th round pick in the Connor draft, 2015.
So that was Shirelli.
So Shirelli would get credit for that one.
And his brother, you like this, watches Oilers games
Yeah, Seth Jones.
and sends him advice.
Oh God.
So that's good.
the patience his brother has to
Wow.
endure that
Of course.
shit.
Yeah, like he's watching those just because he loves his brother that much.
I bet you the defensive silver lining of the 28-19 season when we look back will be that Jones is a stalwart D-man.
Oh, don't worry. Shirelli will probably trade him for fucking who should we trade for right now? It's really we should just trade for who's toxic right now. I was gonna say Taylor Hall, but
Well, we
he
already
was
got
having a shit season. PS.
oh yeah, of course he is, because now the revenge factor's worn off.
Yeah.
He only wanted to be good last year to stick it to everybody who hated him.
Yeah.
And now he can retreat back into his cave.
Yeah.
There was a Fire Chiarelli chant going on the escalator down from the top last game. And people were banging on the side of the escalator. So Fire Chiarelli, smash, 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 smash. And you know the usher, like the real good dude
Yeah.
that gives you fist pump
Ladies
as you
first.
walk by?
Yeah.
Ladies first, fist pump. Hardest working guy in the OEG.
Yeah.
He was just like, let him fly, boys. Like, he did not give a shit.
So
And
we gotta get that chant going during the game.
yeah.
Like it just needs to be known. Like this is fucking terrible. Like I don't know what else to say. Like I keep drinking the Kool-Aid that things are gonna be okay, but like he just keeps digging the hole deeper and fucking deeper.
To me, the only time changes are going to happen is if the people on the Loge level and the box level start the Fire Chiarelli chants, because it doesn't seem like the Oilers care a whole lot about Johnny Ticket Holder, if you know what I'm saying.
They don't give a fuck about anyone, and that's the issue.
They were hitting me. There was $31 game day tickets being offered
Wow,
over the break
that's bad.
through the Ticketmaster remarketing reselling channel.
Crazy.
I, as a very regular visitor to Oilers.nhl.com, all I see on the internet now are Oilers buy single season game tickets. It has replaced my Russian bride ads that I used to see all the time. Like the cracks in the business model are starting to show.
Yeah.
Now people are still buying McDavid All-Star jerseys by the bushel.
Well, and as you should. Like
Yeah.
that guy, like it's I made the comment that they don't give a fuck about anybody. They literally don't. They don't even give a fuck about Connor McDavid because they're leaving that kid out, hanging him out to dry.
He can't do everything.
He's
No,
doing
hold on. I mean,
everything. in his
Dreisaitl's
ability.
on pace for 104 points, so it's not Connor plus nobody.
No.
And the Nuge is on pace for his best.
God
season.
bless the news. Like I said, we've got this core
Yeah.
of like 3 amazing people, and obviously we really miss Clefbaum.
Yeah.
But like it needs to be way deeper. Look at Nashville.
Oh, don't even
So,
make
so
me.
I had to make player boxes for the draft, so I got to do a little deep dive. Their like top leading scorer is Ryan Johansson, and he's like 40th in scoring.
But they spread it out, right?
But they spread it out.
Yeah.
Like
When I last looked, the Oilers had 8 players with 20 or more points on their roster. 10 or more points on their roster. 8 guys total. The next team in line would be Buffalo, who they're playing tonight, and Boston with 11. And then it shoots skyward from there. Best team in the league is Tampa. They have almost 20 guys with 10 or more points. So our top end guys are doing it. Like Connor's got 67 and 44 right now, and that is some sweet smoke.
oh, he's like my preseason bet. I made a bet with an individual that's outside of the nation.
It's very cryptic.
Well, though it's
Probably
just,
Putin.
Oh yeah,
Probably
sorry,
Putin.
whatever. Just it wasn't a guy in the office. Essentially, what I'm saying that Connor would have more than 120 points for $100, and I'm looking really good.
So you've got Connor there. Leon's on fire, 54 and 45.
God bless him.
Nuge has got 40 and 45. He's on pace for 75.
Nuge for mayor.
Then
Unreal.
it drops down to Chiasson, who's on an unreal heater at 17 goals, but he's got 22 points.
What's
Then
that thing called when you have, it's like a good pitching record? We got like more wins than losses, more goals and assists.
Oh, the Cy Young?
That's the one.
Yeah, Jason's going for Cy Young.
Got
For
17
sure.
and 5.
Oh, yeah.
So it goes 67, 54, 40, 22. Daryl's next with 22, and then it drops to 15 as Oscar Clefbaum, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Luch scored while you were gone.
Yeah, I saw
did?
that.
So on Oilers Nation Radio, I don't know if you've been, remember, we have a Lucic goal draft.
Yeah, who won?
Right now, Cam is in the lead with that one goal, and he is feeling very confident that this one goal is
You
going
think?
to close it out for
You
the
think?
whole season.
He got his goal for 2019.
Bad.
So you come in here. Let's talk about some miracle scenarios. July 1st, Nicholson walks out with Yzerman as the new GM of the team.
Oh.
Or Nicholson walks out with Scotty Bowman, who's been chemically de-aged. Take your pick. What the hell do you do to try and turn this thing around in a short span so that Connor isn't wasting 5 of the first 6 years of his career waiting for this organization to rebuild?
If you're looking for a bright side, Wanya, I've got one for you.
Hit me.
The next GM, all they really have to do, the first moves, is clear out some dead weight in the middle of guys who can score more than once. And then you're already looking great.
Yeah. Guys have scored 3 a year.
Do you buy out Milan Lucic?
You can't.
Why?
Is Chiarelli's contract that he gave him is so bulletproof in terms of most of the money Milan Lucic makes over the term of that contract is signing bonuses. Signing bonuses do not get reduced in buyouts, so they still have to pay those out anyway.
So,
The
yeah.
savings are minimal
It's
at best.
minimal.
So instead of paying him instead of paying him 6 on the cap as an example, he's probably going to be around 5 on the cap with a buyout.
So we need to. So if I'm Austin Matthews and I want to get top fucking dollar on my next I'm getting Lucic as agent.
Or signing to Chia. So they can't get rid of Milan Lucic?
They could buy him out, but
We
it's not.
need
It's
a
ugly.
lockout in such a fucking bad way with a compliance buyout window.
Like
Oh,
if
I
you
can't cheer for a
I
lockout
know
to
that's
fix
the
the oil.
conflicting
I
thing.
can't
Like,
do
what
that.
are you doing to me, Shirelli?
like just doing quick math here in my head, they've got at least 11, 15, probably about 15 to 17 million of just pure dead weight up front. The next GM is going to have a good time clearing that out. He's going to have a good time clearing it out. He's going to trade players for nothing. We're going to get picks. He's going to restock that way. You can sign guys at a low, like if you think about it, you can get a player at $1 million or less that's going to produce the same amount as Milan Lucic is for 6.
Yeah,
Find a way to get rid of that contract, that kind of money. Bring in 6 guys who can score 3 goals a year, and you're way ahead.
Yeah. How embarrassing is that?
Super embarrassing. It's
Now
crazy.
let's pretend it's not Yzerman. What happens if they roll out Keith Gretzky?
I bet Keith Gretzky gets interim because I just don't know how the organization can be comfortable with Peter Chiarelli going into the trade deadline. Trade deadline's 6 weeks away.
I'm scared. Because you got a guy who is on absolute tilt trying to save his bacon, and who's making the dumbest trades ever, and is just making trades for the sake of making trades.
The Oilers are the most active trading team this year in the NHL.
Yeah, and like
You could argue none of the trades have helped.
none of the, they're all lateral, if not taking a step back moves.
Yeah.
Like I would much I would still, and I was still mad when they did. I'd much rather have Ryan Strome than Spooner.
Well,
I'd
it's
much rather
funny-
have Jordan Eberle than Ryan Strome.
Exactly. Like you look back and you're like, oh, okay, well, man, I miss Ryan Strome. Man, I miss Drake Kajula.
I missed him the second I heard we got traded.
Like it's crazy.
And then he goes to Chicago and says he feels more comfortable.
Oh yeah, it's
But
like,
do you hear that? He said that he feels much
so
more
like,
comfortable.
It
as a
doesn't matter.
Blackhawk.
Like everyone who leaves Edmonton, their first interview after talks about how it's better at the next place. Whether we practice harder.
But
It's
hold
this,
on now.
it's
But
that.
he says he feels more comfortable having left 15 games into the Hitchcock era. So Kajula's leaving, saying feels more comfortable with the Hawks than with the Hitchcock Oilers, which I thought was strange. Right? I would have hoped that people. I feel like Hitch is doing a great job. I feel like he's accountable. He's out facing the hordes. But if the last guy off the ship says the ship is still not being run properly, like, is that a slight against Hitchcock, or is that
his
just
thing
he's
was-
tired of leaving?
Was it about the expectations or not knowing what the expectations or the pressures being put on him?
Well, how
Like,
do you not
obviously-
know your expectations? Win
Or
games.
sorry, the pressures being like yeah. If you're Kajula, or if you're Hitch, you're gonna start trying to whip everyone to try to start producing and performing better.
So Kajula said he's got a quote here. Zach Lang did a write-up on that over at The Nation. He says, I think I was maybe walking on eggshells trying to please certain people and all that certain stuff. Now I'm forgetting all about that and just playing hockey again. I got a fresh start here with a new organization, and I'm able to just come in with a clear mind and play hockey without having to think. That's making it a lot easier for me.
So what's he talking about there?
So he's talking about the comfort factor of having to replace Brendan Manning on a rebuilding Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, and there was also, Zach didn't include this quote specifically in his article, but there was another thing where Kajula was kind of like, well, I looked at the extra defenseman that the Oilers had, thinking they would probably try and trade that for a forward, and then they flipped me for another defenseman. So he's like, I don't really get it.
Yeah, so like
none of us get it.
None
of us get it.
How many defensemen do we have on our team right now?
All of them.
NHL caliber? That's the discussion.
No, that was well, and
yeah.
I did. That's why I did not throw that out there. But just like, how many defensemen do we have now?
They are the early 90s. I'm talking Lillehammer Olympics when Petro Canada released those glasses that you could get, the collector's cups. Chiarelli is treating third pairing defensemen like the collector's cups from the Olympics, and he's trying to collect the whole set.
You're talking the one with the gold rims?
That's right.
Stuff? Yeah, I got some from, I think, still from the '88 Olympics.
See?
What?
Yeah. Well,
I hope you have a safe.
I found. Oh yeah, they're in the cupboard right now. I found them. I'm like, ooh, I got to keep these. So someone asked if I should throw them out, and I said,
Chiarelli's collecting the whole set, man.
Let's take a break. We'll be back. The problems will still be here after a quick commercial break. Real Life Podcast.
SumoJerky.com. You've been through the gas station. You've seen all the flavors, teriyaki, black pepper, maybe extra hot, sweet chili. That's about as exotic as it gets. But if you subscribe to Sumo Jerky at SumoJerky.com, check them out online, enter your preferences. They source out the finest small batch handcrafted maw and paw jerky from all over the world. They have all your favorite flavors, but it's high quality, handcrafted versions of your favorite flavors, and they get exotic as well. Exotic jerky from exotic animals, or play it straight and stick with beef. Enter your preferences at sumojerky.com. It shows up once a month. Deliver it as a gift if you like. Have it sent to your work for a little pick-me-up during the day. Sumojerky.com. Follow them on Instagram at sumojerky for pictures of their meat, or sign up for the service yourself. SumoJerky.com. Once a month, meat delivered right to your door. It's the home delivery service you didn't realize you need until it started showing up. My favorite day of the month is Sumo Jerky Delivery Day. SumoJerky.com to get started.
We're back. Thank you, Yukon. Delicious, delicious jerky.
Yukon knows good jerky, I imagine.
Knows everything.
Yeah,
Guys got it going on. Before the break, we were talking about the slow and inevitable decline to the bottom of the NHL floor, making Florida look like cup winners.
well, we beat them at least.
Yeah, but we beat them. But it was like
Connor had to do everything.
It was like a Rudy Saturday afternoon type comeback for the Oil to beat Florida, and poor Connor had to do it.
Then they lose the next game to a team missing 7 of their regulars, but who's counting?
Who's also terrible.
That I was so mad at that. Like, that's you gotta win that game. They've got to win that game. I don't even care if they are this terrible. Like, they've got to win that game.
And so the funny thing is, they got this home stretch. There's no easy games in the NHL, but this home stretch is pretty easy. You got Florida, Arizona, Buffalo. You're in Vancouver, back Calgary, Carolina, Detroit. Like, there's a lot of easy pickings there.
And they're in must-win territory. If you don't think we're in like, I know the Oilers after games, and they're doing the thing where they're like, we got plenty of time. You don't have plenty of time.
No.
You don't. You have to win these games now. You have to beat teams like Buffalo. Like, Buffalo has fallen off the rails since they went on that 10-game heater earlier in the year. They need to take advantage of these. Coyotes missing 7 guys. You have to win that fucking off.
You have to shell the Coyotes.
And they suck with those 7 guys.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They still have. So oh God.
Even worse, the Oilers have been outshot in 14 of their last 15 games. It's like they're not even in it.
They had a 5-on-3. I don't remember the real stats because I'd had 4, if you catch me. I swear they had 1 shot in like a minute and a half long 5-on-3. And like, and that's what's really starting to blow my mind. Like, the game against Arizona, there was a power play where I counted 7 passes. And the shot they eventually got was it went to Nurse, and Nurse like chipped it over the net. But it isn't junk on the ice. It was Connor, it was Dry, it was the Nuge, it was Nurse, and whoever the hell else. And like, the power play, that is so much firepower to be icing.
It's because they're not feeling it, man. They're feeling the pressure, so they're trying to like create the perfect situation.
And how could they not, though?
Good.
Like the best players, those guys know they have to do it all.
That's why I wonder
I know,
what Drake
and
Kajula is talking about I'm not trying to please certain people. Like, who are you pleasing with 8 goals?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Doesn't make sense. Nothing the Oilers do makes sense, though.
No, they don't. Nothing. Like, fuck. You just knew the writing was on the wall when Face Goal scores, he was going to score again and likely the winner in that game.
Oh man, that's probably one of the grossest goals I've ever seen though. Like, it was a really weird atmosphere because everyone's kind of like down on the oil and there's some boo birds. There's a lot of empty seats too. And then that poor bastard takes the clapper off the face and like the goal horn. I mean, it's not a goal horn because it's an opposing goal, but like the trainer just comes booting onto the ice.
Yeah.
All the Oilers are standing around. That poor guy was leaking everywhere.
Yeah, the minute I saw that happen, I'm like, we're fucked. There's no way the Oilers could overcome that adversity because they just got some magic juju.
I wish we were scoring goals off our faces.
That was a great tweet, by the way. That cracked me up.
What did you say?
I just said I wish we scored goals off our faces.
Yeah.
But it's been weird. Over the last 3-4 games, they've scored 4 own goals in terms of like deflecting it off their own players, off a skate and in. Like that dude that got hit in the face, he came back and scored another one
off his shin,
off his skate or something like that. 2 goals, no shots. It's crazy.
I wish Lucic had scored 2 goals, no shots.
So we're sucking and we've got the worst luck in the world right now.
It seems as though at times we're cursed.
Yes. Yes.
Which is great news.
Especially when you think of right now, Ryan Rashog this morning tweeted that the Oilers are very active in the pursuit of a winger, and it could include a top prospect, the first round pick, and or a goalie, which would obviously be Cam Talbot because Koskinen has a no move for some reason.
So we're trading Talbot. Who are we trading him to, and what are we getting?
Which
Or
really,
who are we packaging up with? Who really needs a goaltender? All I can.
But
think
hold
of
on. Before you trade Cam Talbot, what are you going to do? Go with Koskinen, who sometimes looks like Koskinen and sometimes looks like Koskinen.
And that's the thing. And does he resign with Edmonton after? And if he doesn't, well,
he does.
probably will because we'll pay him all the money.
of course,
And if not, who the fuck? Then we don't even have a goalie.
like Koskinen's agent's like, don't worry, buddy, I got you.
Yeah.
This is the easiest negotiation I'll
Yeah,
ever
they're gonna
have.
trade Talbot, and now you're fucking gonna make $5 million a year.
And Koskinen hasn't won a game since Christmas. Well, he did win that Arizona game, but aside from that, he's been not good. Talbot's been getting the wins, and they're going to move him. They're going to move Puljujarvi because that's what we do. And Shirley's going to get a guy who had a good year 6 years ago.
Puljujarvi's gonna go to whatever team, and he is gonna fucking light it up.
No. They're not going to get rid of Poolju, are they?
I bet they will. I was talking to our boy Dusty about it. He's going on live on our Facebook today at 2:30. Mondays and Thursdays he does that, and he was talking about Puljujarvi. He's like, I'm convinced Puljujarvi's got to go. Or
Go.
Not got to go, but gonna go.
He loves
Sorry.
Puljujarvi.
He loves Puljujarvi.
Oh, I really want. Oh my god, fuck. So, anyways, we trade Talbot. We package him up with someone. Is it who really needs a goalie? Does Philly need a goalie?
Philly needs a goalie.
Philly needs a goalie. St. Louis needs a goalie.
So they're like, if you look at those two teams, let's just limit it at those two teams.
Yeah.
There are players there that you would love to have.
If you could somehow pry Tarasenko out of there,
Like Tarasenko would be one.
with Talbot and a prospect. I would highly consider that
Sure.
because he's proven.
Him and Connor would be sex. There's Tarasenko there. There's Parayko also in St. Louis who would do a ton of good. There's Wayne Simmons in Philly who would do a ton of good.
Yeah, but he's going. Like it looks like Nashville and Winnipeg are gearing up after him.
Well,
he's
exactly.
getting older
I mean-
too. But I do love Wayne. I love the Wayne train.
But that's the kind of guy, though, that Chiarelli would way overpay for 4 months to try and save his job, and then he's gone in the summer kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's just how it's going to go.
Because Tarasenko's on what, like $7 million?
Yeah, something like that.
So if you trade Talbot and Puljujarvi, because with his bonus cushion and whatnot, that probably is an even money trade.
Yeah, money wise, yeah, sure. But then you're limiting your forward depth even further, though Tarasenko obviously helps a lot.
I think if that like this is wishful thinking. If that particular trade is available, I think you take it. That one. That's wishful thinking. Like obviously it's not. We're gonna get let's see, Robbie Fabry,
That's not a guy.
Yeah, he is. He keeps getting hurt. He's good, but he keeps getting
Kay
hurt.
Whitmore.
Oh, wow. Nice pull.
I can make up players too.
So Tarasenko's at 7.5 for another 4 years after the rest of this one. So 4.5 more years of Tarasenko is what that would be.
At 7.5. That's
7.5.
That's good money.
So
That's good. That's good value. That's like there's no rumors or anything going around, but if that trade is available, I would do that. I would take Colton Parayko, but then we've got to start like chipping out some of this defensive crap we have back with it.
Yep. There's a lot of dead weight there.
So they'd have to take Petrovic or whatever.
They would have to like include like Russell. Does somebody need a cowboy?
I love Russell.
Well, I'm just talking. We're talking about money now.
Like, you know what's funny? Everyone hates on Russell, but this is how bad the season's going right now. People were begging for him to couldn't wait for him to be back.
Well, of course.
That's how bad our situation is.
100%. Anything that keeps Brandon Manning out of the lineup is a good thing by me, though he is playing tonight. But I'm just talking about straight money.
Yeah.
Like if we have to clear out some money from the back end, there's Russell at 4, Clefbaum's at 4.1 something. You don't trade him.
No.
Larson's at around that same ballpark. You trading Matt Benning to clear out 2? Maybe. Why not? There are options, but you're gonna have to move some money. Have to move a useful player probably. And with Chiarelli doing the deal, Lord knows what they'd move.
What's going on? Where is Andrei Sekera? Where is he? What is he doing? How is he doing?
We can tell you how he's doing, and then we'll tell you how he's doing. Like, he came back.
He came back.
He skated.
Oh, okay. I knew that.
Everybody was tripping.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
Did he have a setback?
No. I think, if I'm guessing, do you know anybody who's ripped their Achilles?
No.
It's pretty fucking gross.
I do,
right?
actually. I was buddies with a guy in the league that did it to his Achilles, and he was never the same.
Me and Sean Green and I were at the game. He's like, I've probably known 4 or 5 guys. You only do it when you're older.
Yeah.
Somebody was playing with their kid and ripped their Achilles heel. Like, you rip your Achilles heel because you're either like Dean McCammond, who has it severed by Eric Weinrich, or you rip your Achilles heel because it's like just weathered and you're old.
Yeah.
You don't come back.
Yeah.
So he had that, and he had an ACL 12 months before that.
Yeah.
Like, Sekera's done, if I'm going to guess.
So after Chiarelli,
Period. Like his NHL career.
Because that's
So
that's
after
salary
Chiarelli acquired Petrovic and then Manning, and then the next day did a press conference. Somebody asked about Sekera, and he's just like, "It's gonna be a while." And they're like, "What does that mean?" I'm not gonna comment. Well, to me, that tells me that he's not playing this year.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever going to play again.
Yeah, I could see that.
I bet you they're going to get him to do the old Andrew Ference.
Yeah, the old Joffrey Lupul. Take off to the Ference Peninsula, enjoy
But I'm
your
okay.
day.
I can still snowboard. That's right, Joffrey. I don't think you're quite cluing in as to what we're looking for here.
Yeah.
And to be fair to Chiarelli, when you're planning your lineup and you're Sekera and you're Clefbaum free on an already thin defensive core, like nobody was wanting that to happen.
Who do we want? Who do we want to get? Who do the Oilers need?
Steve Yzerman. Although it's not going to happen, he's going to go back to Detroit.
Of
But I can
course
Is he
still.
going to go back to Detroit, or is he going to go
on the wall. Of
to, is he going to,
course
go to
he is.
Seattle?
He's the classiest motherfucker going. No, I think Detroit. I think there's a winged wheel on his heart.
Maybe
Yeah.
Mike Ilitch, prior to shuffling off, had a chat with Steve and said, I need you to come here after me and make sure that this thing goes.
There's so much loyalty there because Mike Ilitch is a phenomenal owner.
Was.
He
gone.
R.I.P.
Yeah, RIP.
He delivered himself to the pizza place in the
Little
sky.
Caesar lives. Well, funny thing is, Little Caesar doesn't deliver.
That's odd.
You got to come to them for them.
But they're ready for you. They're hot and ready for you.
But there's loyalty there posthumously.
Yeah.
That I think that it's without a doubt he'll go there. Hopefully, Chiarelli goes to Seattle.
Hopefully, Chiarelli goes somewhere that really needs some swagger.
Boston.
Yeah.
They hate him in Boston. You talk to any Bruins fan, and I don't like saying the word hate that much, but they hate Peter Chiarelli.
Well,
I was forewarned by Boston Bruins fans about him.
And I said, shut up, Boston Ben. That was his name in my mind.
My favorite, I think, that's going on right now with Chiarelli is Jason Gregor has gone full scorched
He has
earth
just
mode.
been like White House press corps at press conferences lately.
Oh, really?
So you traded Drake. Where are the goals going to come from, Peter? Like right to his face.
Yeah.
And honestly, there was a day or two there with the Gregor love on Twitter. I don't know that I've ever seen love for an Edmonton media person like Gregor after he handed it to Chiarelli at the press conference.
First question of the press conference was, in what way is Brandon Manning better than Kevin Gravel? And Chiarelli was just like he did that stuttering answer thing.
Yeah.
And Gregor just threw heater. Who's going to score the goals, Pete? Heater, just right down Broadway. A lot of love for Gregor.
Oh, I wish I saw that.
It was good. I called him after. Little name check to myself. Gregor, good job at the press conference. Oh, buddy, it's about some. Oh, I gotta go. Click, and then didn't call me back. And I was like, this guy's on fire. He's on fire. Let's take another break. We'll be back after this Real Life Podcast.
Alberta is where you find hard-working hands, where prairie-grown rye meets mountain spring water, where we pull dragons from the ground, and we choose Rig Hand Distillery. Vodka, whiskey, gin, and more. Rig Hand is made from Alberta-grown ingredients, locally distilled and distributed. It's a bottle of Alberta. Ask for award-winning Rig Hand in your liquor store and visit righanddistillery.com.
Real Life Podcast brought to you by our good friends at Rig Hand Distillery. Smart, we went out and got a booze sponsor for the year of... What are we even going to call this?
When we need it the most.
Somebody asked me the other day, they tweeted at me, they said, I was at my in-laws, my mother-in-law, who's 10 million years old, said, ask the Oilersnation guys what they're going to call the second decade of darkness.
It's just
And the
upsetting.
guy DM me, he's like, I don't mean to ruin your January, but my elderly mother-in-law wanted to know.
I don't want to
there's
think about
that. There's that restaurant in Banff called Melissa's Mistake. We call it Chia's Mistake.
Peter's mistake. Chia's mistake. Should we start selling bootleg chia pets? And it's just...
And they can't grow.
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna say,
just
like
shit
part
for
of it
brains
grows.
growing out.
Yeah.
It just grows poo.
Yeah.
but only from like 10% of it. Do you know what I mean? Only 10% produces. Wayo. Little math for you.
Oh,
Fun.
We should call Harvard's admissions department on tape
to retract his.
and demand they rescind his degree
Yeah.
and just yell until they hang up on us. And then we should play that in the Ice District on super big speakers that we bring in on backpacks.
Because did he not play hockey at Harvard?
I don't know.
I feel like, do we know that he got a degree at Harvard or did he play hockey there? Because I feel like that's a big difference.
He got a degree.
It's one of those hockey degrees. Look this up.
Well, you take your time.
I will.
Take your time. I'll tell you, I didn't think we'd be sitting here. On the one hand, the real optimist in me says, isn't it nice to be having the season flushed down the toilet in January instead of November? But then another part of me says, Wanye, is your brain still pickled from all those Crash Hotel post-game shots?
I'm still going to believe that they got a shot at the playoffs.
Well, they're 4 points.
4 points out. With Connor McDavid, anything is possible. The problem is you need more than Connor McDavid. Help.
They do.
He
They
needs
have
help.
Draisaitl.
And they have Nuge.
but
They
they need more than just.
No, I understand, but just like the narrative can't be we have Connor and nobody else. That's not true. We have a guy on pace for 104 points. We have another second line centerman on career pace too.
And that's why I think the next GM is going to look at that little core there and be like, all right, there's some really nice pieces here. I need to clear out all the shits. Because if Leon and Connor are playing together, that's 23 minutes, 25 minutes a night. Nuge plays another 20. So there's, we're about 40 minutes a night. You need people that aren't useless for the other 20 plus. And that's where the Oilers have a big problem right now. The other 20 plus is a big problem.
Keith Gretzky might be a genius. I don't know. I've asked people who know things, and they say he's actually very smart. And I remember reading the Gretzky book as a child. And he was talking about, did Keith play for the Lightning?
Yeah.
Or Brent.
Oh, Brent.
And Gretzky says in his book, I feel bad for Brent because if his last name was Smith, he'd have a much easier go of it. It's hard to be a Gretzky. So I always got that tucked in the back of my brain.
Yeah.
And Keith Gretzky, if his name was Smith, would probably be looked at completely differently if he took the helm of the team. I worry about the narrative of an organization crippled by nepotism.
Yeah.
But Gretzky's not the problem, and he's Gretzky.
There's something mythical about having a Gretzky like make the franchise awesome again.
Yes, that's true.
Like there's some kind of like that's
true.
I want to subscribe to that.
That's very true.
That myth, that legend that it's a Gretzky that makes everything good.
My worst nightmare scenario is that Connor wants to bounce. And I honestly don't think if Connor wants to bounce, people will blame him.
I wouldn't.
I don't think it would be like
so the fact that now I'm thinking that like he might be thinking that is bad. And that means I would be totally understanding if he wanted to leave.
But he's 1 year into an 8-year deal.
Just made the save of the day.
I saw that. It's amazing. That's my best of the week. And, you know, let's put that aside for a moment. But let's just say that he does demand a trade. They're going to wheel out who to tell the Oilers fans that Connor wants to leave. And I'm terrified that
that'd be
the
rip be Chiarelli.
No, the rip in
he
the
gets fired the next day.
The rip in the Matrix that started in 1979 when the Oil came into the league and lit the league up seals itself in 2020 when Wayne Gretzky's trotted out to tell Oilers fans they've bungled Connor McDavid and he's left. And like all the goodwill of the 80s is now completely sealed.
Yeah. But like I said, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't be... Players like that, they want to win. They deserve to win because they're the best the league has to offer.
Connor is the best. Like, Connor versus Sidney Crosby when their careers are done. Is there even going to be a debate?
Well, there'll be a debate. But
there'll be a debate because like
3 cups and a golden goal in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sid's got the winning to go
like,
with it.
The Oilers are hindering his ability to be the best.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. And he's aware it's grinding him. And he is the ultimate professional.
Yep.
But also when Oilers got the golden ticket, his agent notified the Oilers that if you don't make some changes, he ain't coming.
Yeah.
So
maybe there's an argument to be made that like phase 1 of Connor's career is establish yourself in the NHL as the best. Okay.
Yeah.
Phase 2 of Connor's career is take full control of the OEG and the organization. And maybe we're halfway through that phase. Maybe
that
20
needs to happen now.
But maybe 25, 26-year-old prime Connor is like a LeBron James type who's overruling the coach left, right, and center and engineering deals in the offseason. Maybe the only person to defeat the bumbleheadedness of the OEG is Connor.
He actually is the only person that they'll listen to. And if that is not the case,
they're listening to him. They're listening to Connor.
But I know, but
they're listening to Connor. Connor said, "Hey, NHL, I want to get a black and white jersey for the All-Star game this year with teal on the inside collar."
But like the fact that so bringing it back to Chiarelli trading for Manning, yeah, sure, Connor talked to him, or he talked to Connor last year about
What else is he gonna say?
He was scared to talk to him again.
Yeah,
like and also and sorry, I'm going off topic. Like, do we not think about team culture ever?
I thought we've
anymore?
been hearing about it for 10 years now.
Like, we're talking about trying to improve it, but like, doesn't the GM even try to fucking think about it for 1 second, even though he talked to Connor? Of course, Connor's going to probably say yes.
Did you had a chance to see the breaking news that Dusty brought on the site?
No.
About the Manning trade?
No.
So we know that Chiarelli was scouting him for the better part of a year or two because he talked to Connor last season when Brandon was still in Philly.
Yeah.
According to Dusty and his source that he confirmed with me, and it's a hell of a source, by the way, told him that the Oilers had a deal in place to acquire Brandon Manning last year, and the coaching staff killed it. They said, do not do this. It is a waste. Please do not do this. So the coaching staff killed that trade last year.
What was the trade going to be?
He didn't know what the trade was going to be, but there was one locked in, and McClellan and crew killed it.
Thank you. So Todd's got 2 legacy moves now.
Yep.
That and
Evan Bouchard.
The Bouchard.
Yep.
What do you mean?
Chiarelli wanted Evan Bouchard to stick with the Oilers all season. Tom McClellan said that's ridiculous, refused to play him. So then that's when Chiarelli sent him back down to London. And that saved him from being
exposed to
the expansion draft when Seattle comes in. So had McClellan not put his foot in the sand or drawn a line in the sand and said, no, I'm not doing it, we could have had another player to be protected that didn't need to happen.
I think a poor coach, Todd, who wasn't the problem.
Sure took the bullet, though.
Yeah.
I wonder where he is.
Probably enjoying himself, enjoying that sweet OEG money, having a cocktail.
You got to think that he's watching. Like, I think Tom McClellan's a very classy guy.
Revenge.
He's a classy guy. Maybe he goes and coaches Taylor Hall.
He'll go to Seattle and then Seattle have a better record than Edmonton.
If I'm Todd McClellan, I get tickets behind the bench to all the California games. 'Cause he's still got that place in San Jose. That's what I'm doing. I'm sitting right behind the bench and just enjoying it myself.
Yeah, getting kicked out for smoking dope.
Yeah, T-shirt with Shirelli's face on the front. Him collecting checks, making it rain on the bench.
Yeah. No, he's just licking his chops to get back in the game to prove that he was right.
Sucks, man. And even worse is that the Oilers management group is enabling Shirelli to keep trying digging himself out of the hole.
That's the thing. Like, the minute that does he have like full autonomy? Like, does Nicholson not have to stamp anything? Like,
have you seen?
Clearly he does, because hopefully Bob Nicholson is a smarter hockey man than maybe I give him credit for, or not give him credit for.
I don't know, man. I'm a results guy.
Yeah.
And if there's a room full of people sitting there telling me everyone's doing their best, the results aren't there, I don't give a shit. Bob Nicholson's a fine fellow. He did the Olympic program and blah, 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 blah. How are the results? Short of having drafted Connor, and your time here is
nothing out of their control.
So
they've done nothing.
So think of how many meetings they've had.
They've increased the beer prices.
How many calls they've made to each other, how many texts they've had, how many red wine summits. It's all for fucking naught.
Nicholson's just like, hey, listen, getting a gold medal with Team Canada was a lot easier than this Stanley Cup thing, huh?
I did a deal with Mars bars, and now there's Olympic logos on them. He talks like that guy on Simpsons. This is what I didn't want to do this week.
I know. I was supposed to vent my frustrations about the horrific customer service experience
at the Bay.
I got from buying appliances from the Bay.
Well, that'll be your worst of the week. You lead with it.
The Bay is the OEG of appliance sales. I'll open it with that.
They better be careful. They're going to end up where Sears did.
Don't let them lure you in with you're going to save a bunch of money if you buy their appliances.
Hey, man, the Bay got out to an early lead, and they owned most of Canada. And then since then, they've been managing their decline.
Have you tried tempting them with pelts of any kind?
Yeah, fur trade, they still got on lockdown. I just got to go kill a protected beaver and negotiate that and try to get my fridge in time. So I'm going to share, I guess, and vent. I don't know. I guess we're venting.
I don't know, buddy. It's worst of the week.
It's tough. Yeah. My worst of the week is long. So I bought a new house, and it's an old house. It's a new old house. And the people wanted to take their appliances with them, so we allowed that to happen. And so I bought my appliances the first week of November, knowing that I'm taking possession of the house the first week of December. And when we looked at the delivery dates, we could have got them 2 weeks sooner, but I decided, no, let's avoid all the bullshit in case there's any delays. Let's pick mid-December for a delivery date. We get notified, it's going to be delayed. We get notified, it's going to be delayed. So I bought a fridge, a stove, and washer and dryer. Then they say, well, you know what? The real hang-up is your fridge. We can't get your fridge in. And we only want to do one delivery because we don't want to charge you 2 delivery fees. So we have to wait. So anyways, I go away on this trip, so it's not a big deal for that time, provided everything gets shipped in there. So then they call, say, no, it's going to be early January. Well, whatever, I'm still away, it's fine. Then a week later, they call us to say, hey, how do you like your appliances? They have not been delivered yet. How can I like my appliances? Oh, oops, we made a mistake. Anyways, long story short, last week I get told my appliances aren't going to arrive till February 5th. That is what? 4 months after I purchased them. So I call, but they told me anyways, keep saying long story short, they told me they were going to deliver everything but this fridge that was holding everything up tomorrow. Since I don't trust a word that comes out of their fucking mouths, I called to follow up today. They told me, no, in fact, everything is being shipped February 5th. So now we're in
5th or 15th?
5th. So now I'm in this long dispute being like, I've been without appliances now. Well, they should have been in my house 3 months now. So I'm without appliance. I can't even make a sandwich in my house. I have nowhere to store anything. I can't cook anything. I can't even wash anything. I've been eating out and doing oodle noodle skip the dishes like crazy.
Well done.
Little plug there.
Well, to be truthful, you've been out of country for
a little bit. Yeah.
They don't know that.
Out of the 3 months, though, that I should have had them, I've been away for 4 weeks. So anyways, I call today and be like, is the 15th happening? And they say, no, it's going to be the 18th. And then during the phone call, they then told me it's going to be the 5th. So during a phone call, they did a delay on me from the 18th to the 5th. And they said, so I said, at what point do I become the priority here? Because tomorrow I know you're delivering appliances to someone who probably bought them last week. So when does the guy who bought them in November, who still doesn't have them, get any kind of...
They're delivering to a guy named Ray Downton, hey? And he's like, hey guys, just bought a house. Can't complain about the Bay's customer service. I'm Ray Downton.
Until they're like, don't worry, we're going to compensate you. I'm like, I just want to fucking be able to get some milk.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about compensation. Well, the best we can do is the 5th.
You're rocking an OG Nation beer fridge, aren't you, right now?
I've got a beer fridge. It's full of beer because when you move into a new place, everyone floods your house with beer. So the fridge, which only holds about 30 cans of beer, has got about 32 cans of beer in it because I squirted.
Sounds to me like you need to drink some beer.
So I gotta go on a liquid diet, 2019, keeping it tight. I have an ability not to store any food, so I'm definitely not eating. I'm having deep breaths for breakfast. And this is all because of the Bay. So now after this podcast, I gotta get on the phone again to try to see what kind of noise I can make.
Maybe they'll listen to this podcast and just fix it.
I told them I'm going public. I've got a story here.
Well, if 12 people listening to this show, if one of them is a Bay executive, you're set.
Yeah.
If they aren't, you're fucked.
Only go to the Bay to buy the Bay striped sweaters or blankets because they have those, plenty of stock.
Wayne Gretzky ties.
Maybe some jockey socks.
I'll buy jeans at the Bay because they have good brands. Right?
I'll buy cologne at the Bay.
Oh, that's
because I have a $200 credit there now. That's going to probably become $2,000 by the time I get off the phone with them today.
You're going to send them the way of Wilco if this continues.
Oh, wow.
Wilco.
San.
In Terralosa.
San, but yeah, San. They sold Orange Tab Levi's there.
Respect.
It's a good look.
That's a guy, whatever. Like, if you wore Orange Tab, and I did, to school, you'd have to cut the tabs off because people.
I wore Orange Tab, not knowing it wasn't cool. Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh, shame on everyone for lighting someone up for wearing a different colored tab Levi's than the other.
Oh, it was the '80s. We had nothing else to really be mad about.
It was all about. We still had some of that English hierarchy in our society.
That's right.
Then
The caste system.
Oh God,
Bag milk. That was a long bad.
That's my worst of the week.
This whole podcast has been the worst of the week. But go on, Bag milk. You got anything you're pissed about?
Yeah, my worst of the week is that I never got my White Zombie t-shirt from Woolco before they closed down.
Say again? This time with meaning?
You know what? Everything is bad.
Woolco shut down?
Woolco shut down, yeah.
Like 30 years ago?
It's been a while.
Damn.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while, but I'm still holding it. And just this week, it's come roaring up. Jay's story about the Bay and his frustrations there within.
I want to come over the top 1 second and bring back the Bay. So last week when they told me it's the fridge holding everything up, I said, you know what? Fuck the fridge.
Yeah.
Refund me the fridge. I will go buy one elsewhere. I bought one online while I was away on Friday, and it's being shipped to me. I get it on Wednesday.
You told them this as a lie, as a
ruse. No, that's true. It's
Oh.
true. It actually happened. They refunded me the fridge.
Oh.
I'm like, I bet you I can get one faster, and I'm not even in the country. Sure as shit. Ordered one online. I'm getting it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I even got a confirmation email today about it. Bay, 4 months. Best Buy, 4 days.
Hey, Sears went out. You're next to Bay. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Pack your shit. You are going out of business.
That's good stuff.
They
I
just
don't
need
know, man.
pelt- they
I'm
just
not really
need
that
pelt
mad
training.
about anything, to be honest with you. I feel like all we did was complain this whole show for good reasons.
We just shat on.
All right, then what's your best of the week?
Best
You
of the
little sunshine.
week, my motherfucking Connor McDavid jersey.
Oh.
Let me tell you about this jersey. It's black. I don't know if I mentioned that to you, Bag Milk, which is my staple color. I think of all the adventures I'm going to get into with this thing. So Jordan Eberle, get a jersey, his first game as an Oiler, didn't wash it once most of his career, accidentally left it at my sister's house. She looks at it and goes, ooh, gross, there's shots of sourpuss all over this jersey, and washes it. Eberle amounts to not much, gets traded, no big deal. My first Connor McDavid jersey I got when we won the draft lotto, and I insisted that the local garment maker make me a McDavid jersey, even though they weren't allowed to. And I also insisted that they put the Captain C on it because I was really going on a limb. Remember when we had the draft party at the Pint and I put the jersey on at the party
Carefully
and
slipped
people
it on.
went, ooh. And I was like, yeah, you better believe ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is jersey number 3. And I bought it arguably at a very, very dark point in the Oilers organization. And it's all black, like the Oilers organization's heart.
It's a metaphor.
I'm going to have some good times in this jersey, though, I'll tell you.
Hell yeah.
No lie, I slept with it on.
Did you?
Yeah, I made Sean Green when he came together. Made him. I did like a jaunty little photo shoot in the kitchen of Wanye Manor. Put one up on Instagram. That was my least sassy photo, and then I slept in it.
Doing a tray of Jack will do that for you.
When I was in Hawaii, I ran into a couple just sitting on the beach randomly. The guy had like a John Deere Edmonton hat. I'm like, "Whoa, are you from Edmonton?" Yeah. So quickly got talking about hockey. My family is always about like, "Oh, have you heard of Oilersnation?" Blah blah blah. So they striped it up and they're like, "Oh, no, I read all your stuff."
Hold on, what'd you say? Striped it up?
Whatever. Striped up a conversation. Probably fucked that up.
Striked or striped?
Probably striked.
Interesting.
P for K. K for P.
Jared, let's call this one Striped a Conversation.
So we're talking, and obviously similar type of conversations being had to what we just discussed in this podcast. And I'm like, I still have hope. And then they replied, "That's all we got.
Hope will never die."
And then I'm like, "Hope will never die." And they're like, "You know it."
I got a good best of the week, Wanye.
Hit me.
It's a smasher. Brand new track from Daddy Long Neck and Wide Neck.
Oh, I'm up next.
Next big thing.
Next big thing.
How could you not?
This
just
next
have
big
it?
thing, like neck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Neck minute things.
NECKST. Next big thing by Daddy Long Neck and Wide Neck. Go grab that on iTunes because it is a smasher. Probably the best song of 2019. Could be.
I don't think you're wrong to say.
I think I'm wrong to say it either. Fantastic.
Jared, how are we doing for time? No offense, Big Mug. Thumbs up. We're done. That's it. That's all. Real Life Podcast. See you next week. Hopefully the world doesn't burn to the ground.
Fuck the bay.